Hey, Chandrakant, good to see you. If I have not read anybody's name, apologize. Bunch of names here. Hey, Chandrakant, good to see you. Okay, so cool. Now, give me one. Sorry. I'm going to set this up. Okay. Next time, I think I should get all of this done before the session. Give me just one moment. We're almost done. Just sending the link to everybody. Okay, I think I'm done sending to all the groups. Cool. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for the patience. So you can get your videos on. So let's keep it a little more interactive. I want to see the faces. Obviously, all of you look very handsome and very beautiful. So should be good, right? Because otherwise, it's just speaking to a blank kind of screen. Good to see some awesome faces. Good, good. So first off, I know this is kind of deviant from the topic, but just say India is going to win today. Whoever is cheering. For those of you who don't know, India versus Pak, we lost, I think, 2-3 years ago in the ICC. Raise your hands, guys. Come on. India is going to win. India is going to win.
India is going to win.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Come on. Let's have some energy, man. And those of you guys who don't have energy, well, I'm not sad for you. Well, that's where you are. You got to increase your energy levels. India is going to win. I mean, other things, we are live on YouTube also. So some of our friends from other places can also see. So one of the best experiences I've had is I saw an India-Pak match, not in India, not in Pakistan, but in New York City. And the best thing was the crowd was 90% from Pakistan. It was really good to see that. You should definitely experience something like that. Okay, I'm going to mute some of you guys who are maybe inadvertently. Give me a second. How do you do that? All right. Okay, cool. So without further ado, let's so everybody's come here, right? Without further ado, let's get kickstarted with this. First off, all the new joinees, welcome again. So this is, so what, I mean, people say this is a flipped classroom or whatever. I don't like to call that. So it's going to be, we're going to meet once a week. I apologize again. I flaked last week and I moved it to Sunday. Typically the idea is to finish it on a Saturday night, right? Okay, Jim is, Emmanuel, Jim, network has issues since yesterday, hence keeping video off. Yeah, Jim, let's not have Nazar on your handsome face. Yeah. So I know Jim from before. So again, one small anecdote is me and him used to game a lot. Can you believe that we used to game and we spent so much time and money? Forget time as well. We spent money on actual games. So I think taken this journey to come to a data scientist. Awesome to have you here. If you guys
Glad to be here.
Issues or something like that, then make sure that somehow get into a de-addiction center or something. So it's very serious. I mean, not you, maybe your kids or somebody. It's that's real, very real. Okay, Rohit, I missed your Zoom meeting after we spoke. Can you please recap? Yeah. So I mean, nothing much to recap. So we're going to cover that right now. So we're going to cover now. The purpose of the weekly calls is, see, first off, let me set the tone and agenda. Not to make it seem daunting and etc. But you guys are on the mission to become an AI scientist, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that this is not some, no offense to anybody, not some average developer or some mobile app development. Data scientist jobs are the highest paid, but obviously on the flip side, the numbers are lesser, right? So think of it like preparing for IAS or IIT. You need that, and you can do it. You can genuinely do it, and that's my role here. And so if you're looking for legacy software, right? Legacy software is like mobile app development, web development, maybe all those .NETs, etc. It's easier, but you're guaranteed a job, right? 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. The growth is not going to be that. So know the game you're playing. And since we're playing like a cutting edge technology game, you should have a mindset reorientation, right? You're not in the business of programming. Let me tell you that. First thing, it's contradictory to a lot of people what they say. You're not in the business of programming. You're not in the business of coding. What are you in the business of? Mindset. Reshifting your mindset, right? That little voice that we have inside. Oh, I want to do push-ups today. Oh, I want to go to gym today. I'm not going to do it. Oh, I want to write Python code. First error and gone, right? You're not. So you have to rewire the mindset. Same thing happened to me also. And the purpose of these weekly calls is to re-energize, reboost that self, right? Because like I said, like it or not, you have to become a lot more internal focused, not outside focused. So let's go ahead with the values. And why am I reinforcing values? Because values are the most important, right? Let me get the values. Okay, let's share the screen. Redo that. Yeah, some of you are watching on YouTube. So this is Inner Circle that we meet, like I said, this is for a paid community, but feel free to watch on YouTube and ask me questions on YouTube. If I have time after my community, I can definitely get to your questions, guys. So don't be shy. Okay. Yeah. So what are our values? Why are values important? I mean, I've seen a lot of your goal cards. So first thing is, do not write a single line of code without going to success mindset. That's the first video you should have. I know our minds are the biggest monkeys, all of us, myself included. It'll go to Python, it'll go to these, and first default thought will be like, oh my God, it looks so daunting, right? That's not the thing, right? So I've told you in the webinar about chunking. There's a human who ate an aeroplane. That's real. I was shocked, but it's real. So it took him 3 years, I think. You can Google it, not now, but later. You can eat aeroplanes. Like human digestive system is designer. It's a Cessna flight. It was not the big Air 380. Maybe it would take more. So he powdered it and he ate it, right? But if I tell you, can you eat an aeroplane? You'll be like, okay, Jay is crazy. No. What I'm trying to tell you is anything big should start with some baby steps. Nobody's going to say, no, I can do it. Let me take a baby step. That's not how our mind works, right? But so vision is important. Value system is important. I've seen many of your goal cards. And for those of you who are new, it's okay. You don't have to like straight away do it. I know some of you just joined yesterday. Take your time. It's a goal card for 3 years, right? Don't just please write hey, I want to get a 3 lakh job, 5 lakh job. Because you have to be clear why you're doing that, right? If I just say, oh, you know what, I want to make the best startup, Pixeltests is the best startup, that kind of is not the, it doesn't sound good. I'll come off as a greedy guy, right? You ought to say something on the lines like, I want to work in, let's say I'm just making it up, I want to work in Apple, you know, for a high paying job, whatever, 4-5 lakhs or 2 lakhs, and design the next big you know, iPhones, or you know, do data science for all that in an R&D role and impact some humanity or something like that. You must get a little bit of altruism there, even though you might not believe it right now, even though it looks cliched, you must have that. Like, how does it sound if I say I want to make $1 million versus if I say I want to impact 1 million data scientists, right? It sounds much better. And all, so it's very philosophical. When you're going for money, you will never get money. When you're going for value, you'll get money, right? Similarly like that. And also FANG is, I mean, I know some of the things I'll contradict myself. That's okay. You have to contradict yourself. Everything can't be consistent. FANG is highest paying, definitely, but it's not the most fulfilling job. Okay, be wary of that. Google work-life balance is actually incredibly rod. Like they'll really squeeze you out. I'm told Uber is good, but even Uber is also kind of so you have to have that altruistic thing. Many people are there who are working, let's say, for a renewable energy company, and they're very happy, right? Who are also earning big bucks, 3-4 lakhs, data scientists, etc. I got a call from a friend who got a director AI job at NTT. Very happy, data systems, etc. Impacting the world. Again, packages are also great. So think like that, right? FANG is obviously the hook to get, but you must think like properly. Okay, what is my mission, at least, or our mission? Current education upskilling techniques are broken. That is, I think, extremely, it's like a truism, but enough emphasis has to be there on that, right? How many of you think the current education and upskilling techniques are broken? Type CE on the chat box, guys. CE. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Correct. It's not making us leaders. It's not making us, we have seen what happened in the recent, obviously the catastrophe. It's not making us, it's programming us to be subservient, be a donkey, not a monkey. Right? That's not really good, right? World needs more leaders more than ever. So my request to you is think on those times, and each one of us can do that, right? I love this. I was listening to Blair Singer the other day, and he was like, it's not what you teach, it's how you teach, right? Same thing is one of the missions that I'm getting my voice is being ruthless in trying to help people. Now, what does that mean? You will also see that some people are helpable, some people are not helpable. Forget about the negatives, only focus on the positives, right? So you also try to find jobs, opportunities, or go to US or whatever, Canada, in ways where you can actually impact, right? So current upskilling and education techniques are broken. IIT is included, and I've had the good privilege of going there, and it's not. I'm not saying it's bad. It's also great, but it's not. I mean, and you can't default them also. It's come from licensed Raj era, British era. It's come, and it's not adapting as fast. World is moving much faster. So again, the second mission is to build the world's largest society of AI scientists, machine learning engineers. That I'm going to tweak that a little. We're also getting crypto, blockchain. I've announced that last time. So once December onwards that comes in, we're going to get that. We're also talking about a couple of other areas. I won't specifically tell them, but think of it in VR, AR, and self-driving car. Sorry, what are the electric vehicles and all that. All that's work in progress. So unless it's confirmed, I don't want to tell you. Vision is to collectively empower every human on earth to live a fulfilling, lucrative. I told you this last time. You can either be happy and rich, right? That's the best outcome. You can be unhappy and rich. Many people are there. I'm not going to name some. We've seen some recent in the news. Some people's kids have unfortunately gone to jail and all that. Anyways, not going there. You can be happy and poor. I mean, not rich. So that's also there. And you can be poor and unhappy. So these are the 4 cases I've seen people. Be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with me, but be honest with yourself, and it's okay. Wherever you are, you can move. You can move ahead, guys. Right? All right, cool. So everybody wants a fulfilling, lucrative career. Type fulfilling, lucrative. FL, guys. That's what you got to aim for. Don't aim only for one thing. Fulfilling means you should be able to sleep well at night. Not like, oh, look at Instagram and goals and all that, and you know, try to Instagram yourself to sleep, right? That's the worst way. You should wake up and you should sleep in the same energy and excitement. I kind of get that, right? Right now, I'm it's not just the community, but it's also there are some hidden gems, like some people from different backgrounds. Maybe as time progresses, 6 months, 1 year down the line, we'll have all of them interviews. You'll see their struggles, especially maybe tier 2, tier 3 towns, etc. Okay, all right. So code of honor. Why do we need a code of honor? Very, very important. The rules you tell your son or daughter is not going to be the same rule you'll have, let's say, with your office, right? So you need a code of honor. This is the code of honor. Remote, again, very simple. Live and learn anywhere. You can actually, I would say, live and unlearn anywhere. So as much as you learn, you should also unlearn, right? What does unlearning mean? You must have a thesis and always check every 6 months. Let's say I'm just making it up. I say, okay, you know what? I think I am, trying to get. I need a job at Google. So then you say, okay, you revisit the hypothesis. Maybe 6 months down the line. Maybe it's not Google that you really want. Maybe it's like I said, NTT Data. Maybe it's a renewable energy company, or maybe it's Kinetic Honda. I was in an EV webinar, and the mission they are on is great, right? So maybe it's actually you want to revisit every assertion. Even I do that. Write down your thesis and keep experimenting. Growth, learn new tools and techniques. So first thing is the course is designed in a way to go step by step only from what the industry needs, right? You don't have to go anywhere. Like I said, but there'll be newer and newer tools and techniques. I will be the one, I'll be your bigger monkey to learn that, chew that. And it's about, you're in the business of saying no. 90% of the time you have to say no. And there's this huge blizzard. There's this huge rain constantly coming on this thing, like your phone, your kid's phone, your daughter's phone, your dad's TV, everywhere, your own laptops, your own 21 browsers. And of course, whatnot, iPads and all, constantly, because you click, even I do that. It's called retargeting, right? You'll constantly be showing different ads, different other things, right? Get rid of them. And remember, it's not a small, tiny little ad. It's like Corona, right? 7,000 supercomputers are trying to mine for your attention and that money and that mind space. It's like almost like organ mining. For those of you who don't know, you should watch that Social Dilemma movie. It's on Netflix. It's free. Watch it. Tonight itself, watch it. How the big companies are mining for your attention and time. I think it's also there in Hindi. The Social Dilemma. I'm just going to put it on. How many of you watch Social Dilemma? If you watch Social Dilemma, type TSD. It's a great movie. It's a docu movie. It's 1 hour. You should watch it once every month. You should watch it. I'm watching it once every month. Like I said, I've deleted many apps, and you have to get there, right? You think it's one small phone. My mom is hooked to YouTube. My dad also getting hooked to YouTube and all that. Before it was TVs, before it was something else, but now it's much different. And you've been following, right? Facebook in the US is getting under huge scrutiny. Instagram, because the teens are getting, for the first time in the entire human generation, they're more depressed. Because it's all about showingness, right? So if a 16-year-old girl sees some other girl who's wearing, let's say, better makeup and all, she's getting more likes. She gets less likes. So obviously, her mindset is prone to be like that. So think about all these things. Even you are susceptible to that. My own mom is also not spared from all of that. So it's happening. So anyway, coming back to this, new tools will come. I will be the one to learn them, and I'll tell you, for the first 90 days or 180 days, depending on your path, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Like zilch, right? Your aim should be master. Why are you after mastery? Don't do these casual, half-hearted, half whatever efforts. Like Drew Houston of Dropbox says, get in life, get it right once in life, just once. Like an IAS officer gets it right only once, right? And then 50 or whatever, 30 years, it's like, I'm going on record and saying, but it's the same thing. Same thing with, I won't say that for IITians, engineers, you have to keep falling. But there are many things, right? Such examples are there. If you crack a high skill just once, right? And which you can do fully well, you can do it. You have the knowledge, you have the skills, you're already 1 in a billion. or a million. If you crack that, you're on a different trajectory, right? It's like Superman going out of the cloud, right? Okay, clarity. Yeah, this is a huge problem. I see a lot of people, great techies, don't speak well. And the problem is not because I know many of you might also have they might be Hindi medium or other mediums, vernacular medium till 12th. Problem is not that many techies feel they should not learn communication. That's very bad, right? Please learn communication. Communication doesn't mean, like I said, the best English, you have to be articulate and speak well. This is like MS Dhoni, right? Just speak to the point, etc. Be confident. I see many people who message me saying, hey, you know what? I was just in another communication workshop. Hey, you know what? Great coders, excellent coders. And they are like, I'm not able to speak to US clients and all that. So then why? And US clients know that Indians or us, we have like, what's it called? English is not our first language. It's completely fine. Just speak to the point. If p-value is, let's say, I'm just making it a p-value is 0.9 and you can't even communicate and the client thinks it's 0.5, you're not able to communicate, that's your mistake. Completely on you. Understand when it's your mistake, right? He's not expecting you to say some fancy flowery jargon, right? P-value is 0.9, it's not 0.5. Thesis is tested. So you should be able to say all those things, right? Yeah. So please invest in your marketing. I've told it in the last session as well. How do we go about job mastery, right? So if you go to Inner Circle Vault, all of you should have access in the paid community. I've given 7, 8, all of my preceding lectures. The last 2 weeks, just watch it. They're only 1 hour each. How do you write an email? I take you from how do you write your email? How do you write your name? I take you through how do you cold email. Everything is kind of given, guys, right? So that's extremely important. Efficiency, speed of implementation, taking action. You must have a huge proclivity towards taking action. This is again a very huge thing. You have a inner voice, resistances and all. Start taking action on things, right? I mean, I can't emphasize this. You're in a premium technology upskilling thing. You must first off think premium minded, right? And don't be cheap on the path to greatness. I've given you step by step. Let me share that as well. For some of you who probably just come and who don't know, the LMS. Give me a second. All right. Let me show you the LMS. So, okay. So this is your LMS. Many of you would not have received all of it, not just the course wise, but it's all gamified, right? I wanted to go step by step by step. Yeah, if you have too many utensils, you will get overwhelmed. Start one at a time, right? The most important is the orientation, your goal card, nothing else, right? Then you go to, then once you submit your goal card, you should have, you get your introduction to Python unlocked, statistics. Some of you already have it unlocked, that's fine. The other thing I want you to focus is on the inner circle, right? When you go to inner circle, once the weekly sessions are recorded and kept it here. So go to CV Mastery, you'll know specifically what I'm talking about. Go to this site, and then I tell you exactly what to do, what not to do, how much you have to invest also in your upskilling, right? Sorry, in your CV preparation, video CV preparation, and video, text. What else is it? That's pretty much it. Subscriptions like LinkedIn, subscriptions like Naukri, right? How many of you have used the free? How many of you? Okay, I know now you're sort of. It'll take you 6 months before you hit the job market, etc. But how many of you have used Premium Naukri or Premium LinkedIn? If you have used Premium Naukri, type PN. If you have used Premium LinkedIn, type PN. Premium means paying that, guys. Wait, what? Nobody? Has anybody used any premium job search? Wait, let me switch to gallery mode and try to see this. How do I make this gallery mode? Okay, let me stop share, then I'll get to gallery mode. Okay, guys, Let's get the videos on. How many of you have used Premium Naukri or Premium LinkedIn? Any premium job search out there? First off, do people know what is a premium job search? If you know, type, just show me a thumbs up. You guys know, okay, awesome. So that's Somnath and Mohan Raj. Hemang, Som also knows it. Hemang, Chandrakant, you have. Excellent, sir. Would love to see a thumbs up. Karan has. Excellent. Others, Emmanuel, Jim, have you used it? Long time back, Naukri, I think. Excellent, excellent. So about half the audience, right? Okay, so the reason why I'm trying to tell you this is it's important that if your Arnab's not used it, okay, no problem. You're applying. Senthil, what about you? I don't see a response. I know that you have gigs to not use. Okay, see, this is the mindset I'm telling, right? You're not in the game of trying to troubleshoot Python errors. That is also one thing. You're in the mindset of thinking basic economics. You want premium job, but you want everything free. That doesn't work. This freemium model, just kill it. I'm not asking you to give me money. You've already given. Just have a strategy on how much to budget for what, right? Let me ask you this. Would you do that for your daughters? Let's say you have a child. You want to invest in the best education or average education? Type best if you want to do best. Daughter or son, whatever, kids. In the best, correct? Let's say you want to take your mom to the best hospital or the worst hospital. Like average doctor or like the best doctor, suppose something, God forbid, happened, the best, right? So why aren't you investing best in yourself? See, this is where it's like a cultural thing. I'm also guilty of that. We try to do these hustle, jugaad, opening these incognito tabs, windows, trying to squeeze out, make my trip some 10 rupees. That's not the way you're going to get a job. Let me tell you right away, you're not going to get into FANG if you have that mindset. Have a budget. If it's a 1 year plan, okay, 1 year I want 30 lakhs, 10% you invest on yourself, right? 3 lakhs, no matter what. And be emotionless about money, about these things, right? So you gotta be investing the best. In the previous lecture, I've given you how much you have to assign to LinkedIn, how much you have to assign to what's this called, Naukri. I think it's about 1,700. Let's say it's 3 months each. That's 5,100. So another 5,000 for Naukri, 10,000, and 20,000 for your CV for your LinkedIn profile. Professional done. What does professional mean? Some lady who's done it like 10,000 times properly. You and me are not the best. I have reviewed 10,000 CVs, but I'm not the guy sitting and typing, right? So get it. 50,000 rupees you can invest on yourself. Get that on your mindset, right? If this was a bulb on moment, type BO, guys. Bulb on. You are the best. Spend the best on you. Your CV is the first thing. Guys, I need bulb ons. Come on. PO. Get rid of that mindset, right? Just do whoosh and get rid of it now. Guys, do it whoosh. Come on. Somnath, Mohan, come on. I can see you guys. Do the whoosh right now. Come on. Do whoosh and spend the best. And the reason why I'm sounding kind of animated is because you have to have that. It's not just us. It's decades. My mom and dad are also like that. They're like, don't fix that bathroom. It's okay. We'll shift somewhere. It's like, no, why? I don't want to wake up in the morning thinking, oh, you know what, the bathroom's kind of bad. But that's the way it is. It's unfortunate. It is like that. I don't know if like Westerners do that. They have a fair. I'm not going to compare, but you have to spend premium on yourself. Doesn't mean you have to spend 10 rupees where it is 1 rupee, right? Doesn't mean you have to go to 5-star, 7-star hotel food only where. If you're trying to purchase a laptop, the other day somebody was WhatsApping me, sending me a WhatsApp, sorry. It's like, what laptop do I buy? Just buy the best. If your budget is 1 lakh, buy a Mac. If your budget is 20,000, then you have to think like that, right? I'm not asking you to buy the best watch. Don't buy the best watch. Don't even invest on clothes. I go extreme. Just wear 5 shirts. That's it for 5 years. Serious. Just invest in technology. Buy the best router. Buy the best internet connection. Buy the best laptop. Which phone will you buy? Apple or Android? If you want Apple, type Apple. Android, type Android. Let's assume you had 1 lakh. All of you have been magically given 1 lakh. And your decision point. You have 3 seconds. What will you buy, Apple or Android? Come on, guys. On, Somnath, type. Jalli. See, this is where you have to use the mindset. I'm telling you, you have to be mindset. No, nope, Somnath. Okay. See, you have to have first derivative, second derivative, third derivative consequences, right? First derivative, I'll tell you how to think about these things. You are in the energy management space. You can only make 100 decisions in a day. 100, that's it. Now, decision doesn't mean, oh, what? So, decision is also counted when you say, oh, you know what, Netflix pe kya dekho main aaj? That's one decision gone, right? Now, my recommendation is buy Android. Can you tell me why? Yeah, Rakesh was the one who asked me. Yeah, correct. Tell me to buy a Mac laptop, but not a Mac Apple phone. I'm that serious. Exactly. There you go. There you go. What's I got it right? Buy a 5,000 rupee phone, or even if you can go to a 3,000 rupee smartless phone. The reason is iPhone is so good. I was checking my screen time on it. It just sucks you in. No wonder the company is the richest company in the world. It will suck you in. You won't know 3, 4, 5 hours will go, and then you'll say, "Oh my God, I spent so much time. I'm not getting a great job." That's how our mind thinks. Buy a lousy Android phone. You don't need to spend time on phone. It's okay. Our spouses, everybody also, we can push them away, saying, "You know what, my phone's not really there." Spend least time on phones and all. You're not dealing with a small this one. So you have to think of first derivative, second derivative consequences. You buy a great phone, you're going to spend more time on it, right? Those things have been engineered with like some 70,000 AIs. Don't connect. Okay, Arnab. Yeah, Mac and Central. Why do you need it? You don't need it. See, earlier when I was upskilling for for the AI and all, I used to buy like these GPU servers and all. All that's also not required. Everything can be done. 8 GB laptop is more than enough. With 8 GB laptop, you can even get into Kaggle top 50. You just have to know. So this is a Rubik's Cube, right? I just kept it for demo. Can I solve it? Let's assume I didn't know the formula. Can I solve it? How many of you solved a Rubik's Cube? If you have, type R. R means you have solved a Rubik's Cube. Okay, great. So for those of you who don't know Rubik's Cube, obviously there's a specific way to solve this. You have to get the grid same color, right? Now, those of you who have solved it, you understand. There's a specific path to do it. I can sit on it the entire day and not do it. I can sit on it 1 month also, I won't do it. Same thing for you. There's a specific way for you to get that high-paying job. Everything else is a distraction, right? That's my only request. I'll reinforce it again and again. And hopefully one of you will get it, right? Same thing. So get rid of high funda phones. It's a huge behavioral shift, right? Okay, let's go back to the values now. Okay. Yeah. So abundance, you are exploring opportunities. I would see we are building a community, right? So many of you are in different places. Reach out to community, be proactive. There's opportunities for everybody, right? Charity, I emphasize charity. This is a rat race. You will lose yourself. It's okay to lose yourself, but it's also, remember, you have to ground yourself, right? So 5% of time, most people, I mean, they give money, don't do that. 5% should be on time as well. Time means actually charity of your choice, not to like some poor cousin and all that, but literally, please do that. Give me 1 sec. Let me check. Hey, Evan, good to see you. Yeah, sorry, that's my stand for this. Okay, 1 sec. Some of you. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to this. Yeah, charity is very important. You will lose yourself. This is a very involved game, right? Okay, so how do we go about the path? So the first path is, data science finisher. Idea is 2 or 3 months. Try to finish this. First thing is your mindset, right? We have to rework the mindset. The goal card is extremely important. The book of goals. I write my goals every day. Some of you already know it. For new people, write your goal card. It should be like a business card, like a goal card. Write it on both ends. And like I said in the beginning of the session, make sure it's on both sides, your proper goal, and have a little bit of altruism there as well, right? Don't be completely like Shylock or greedy. Oh, I want 5 lakh job, etc. Because then you're subconsciously also telling your mind you are only after the money. That's not really great. Slight tweak from my previous approach, and believe that you write it, you write it, you believe it, so on and so forth. Okay, now, yeah, the goal card, keep it everywhere where it's really visible, right? That's the first thing. Yeah, stranger's secret. I keep saying it. I'm going to say it again and again. Just do that one thing. Stranger's secret. How many of you are listening to stranger's secret twice a day? Okay, once a day. Let's start with once a day. Once. Very good. Let's go back to gallery mode. So, Mr. Banerjee, have you not listened to it? Do you know you have to listen to it? Okay. What about the others? Good. Okay. So, Stranger's Secret, for those of you who don't know, is by Earl Nightingale, who was of same time period as Napoleon Hill and all. He talks positive affirmations and all that. So there's a lot of material out there, but it's a 31-minute video. Listen to it every day, first thing in the morning, first thing in the night. Why? It's scientifically proven, like these things. So there are 3 things, right? Number 1, there's your mind, the conscious, there's subconscious, and there's unconscious. Unconscious is when you're like sleeping, you wasted with alcohol. Subconscious is what's going on. So the mind has a lot of that, right? You gotta be listening to this every day. I do that every day, twice a day, first thing and last thing in the morning. And not when you're multitasking and all that. Just listen to it properly. In fact, just by heart it, literally. Okay. Why? Like I said, it's a mindset shift. So you got this, Mohanraj, you got this. I can see you guys. Listen to. Come on, Som, show me that. Yeah, there you go, man. Listen to it, okay? Napoleon Hill is by far one of the only people who's credited with the most number of millionaires, right? In fact, he's extreme. I've seen some documentaries. They don't even listen to negative stuff. Like if there's a serial or if somebody's talking negative, they just leave the room. Because the number of people who are successful is very less is because of that. There are far more negative people than being positive. And it's very tough. Hardworking for being positive is very tough, right? Okay, it's never the tools, guys. It's the principles. Good to see you, Hemant. You got Stranger's Secret. Awesome. There's another thing about risk and all he goes, but don't do all that right now. Do it for 90 days. Then only if you finish that, you go to the next. So let's go back to that. All right. So after that, you start with Python. So we have Python programming concepts, EDA, exploratory data analysis. Again, I've given you exactly what's required for industry. Nothing more, nothing less, right? Join and reshape data. Start with that. It'll take once a week, one chapter once a week. That's enough, right? If you want to accelerate, if you're in a rush to, crush it, then you can do one per day also. I've had a lady who did like 1-2 a day as well. So it depends on you. You are the only person you have to beat, nobody else, right? Sprint is exactly designed in a way where industry is going to ask you that. Again, all of this doesn't matter if you don't have a goal card. If by any chance you go straight away to Python, let me go on record and tell you it will be difficult. It is never about the tool. It's about the principle, right? Okay. Then you could do statistics part. Told you exactly what the t-test, chi-square test, confidence intervals, Bayesian statistics, and the sprint is, right? That's enough for data science piece. And then ML, we can get to the ML piece, which is the linear algebra. And once you submit the sprint, each of these becomes unlocked. If it's not unlocked for you, message me, I'll unlock it for you. Or write to j@pixeltest.com. Applied modeling, Kaggle, you have Kaggle. The reason why I have Kaggle designed is because at the end of 3 months, 6 months, you should know not where you're standing in India, you should know where you're standing globally. Why is it important to show where you're standing globally? Guys, anybody? Why is it important to know where you're standing globally? So how many of you know Kaggle? Type Kaggle. You can type KAG on the chat. If you know Kaggle, type Kaggle. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Okay. So Kaggle was started by this Australian entrepreneur. It's a data science competition place, right? It started as a competition. Now it's into everything. It's also into training. It's also into other things. Now Google acquired it. Okay. Kaggle is a platform, kaggle.com, right? There are lots and lots of competitions. You can start from basic to all the way. You can start with learning as well, right? The reason why at the end of 3rd month or whenever, or how soon you get to it, I request you to participate in Kaggle competitions is you will know where you stand in the world. And why is that important for your mind? Because we are fundamentally, okay, somebody can unmute and talk to. Dave, you want to go for it? Star student so far. In other words, I'm half joking, but go for it. Anybody can go for it. Why is it important to know where you stand?
It will help us to assess the process that we are following. It will help us to assess it, and if we need any improvements in the process, then we have to do improvements, or if it's good, and we can continue with it.
Very good, very good. Others? Anybody? Somebody more senior? Dave is in 3rd year of college, guys.
Jay, I think if we try to look at where we stand, we see where are our gaps, and is there anything we fell short in setting our goals?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very good, Mohan. Others? So my
take on this is hello.
Hey, Jim.
Hey. Well, my take on this is it's like you just need to compare yourself, whether you're in a well, you're in a lake, you're in an ocean. Just always be aware of the surroundings, and that's exactly, or that's why it is needed, much needed.
Very good.
Because someday you will outgrow your environment, and then
excellent.
That's evolution, right?
Perfect. Yeah, that's good. So one of the things is also when I did my first competition, I remember I got a bad rank. Yeah, Senthil, you want to go for it?
Yes, it's like we are competing ourselves every time when we attend any Kaggle competition. Yeah, that's what my understanding.
Excellent. So, you want to take a shot at it? Why is it important to participate in competitions? Why?
Sir, it's just to assess our stand right now and competing with ourselves. To make ourselves move further than we are standing where yesterday.
Excellent. Okay. So, but you're now in your room, you can compete with yourself. No, why is it important to see a leaderboard and all? No, go for it.
May I come in, Jan?
Yeah, who's that?
Chandrakant.
Yeah. Tell me, sir.
Yeah. Okay. To compete in the competition globally, if you can go, we can get many of the ideas also when they are presenting it. Where we are lacking behind, we can get from them. We can learn it from it, and we can teach also to many other companies. As to give him one example, I was following a data scientist who is a very renowned one. He had arranged a competition for data scientists itself, and globally only 493 people participated into it, but most of them were Indians. who were staying abroad itself, but most of them were Indians, and they had put many of the things into it. So we get to learn in these things, not only where we are standing it, but we get to learn from that.
Very good. Excellent. Actually, that was very well articulated. So I know you got one sec. I'll come to you, Mohan. So you got sort of intercepted. Do you have some completing thoughts, or we can go to Mohan?
Pardon?
No.
Yeah.
Like the gentleman now said, I totally agree with him. It's not only about where we are standing right now, it's also actually assessing ourselves, and we can interact with others and learn from them also.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, Mohan, you had some points?
I think last day you were quoting Michael Phelps, one personality who had a very high standard, okay, and had dreams, goals, which were aligned to practice in such a way that he reaches there. And those are records which should be there as our goals or our dreams, so that even if we are not reaching there, our potential will try to reach there.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, pro athletes. That's also very good. Anybody else? Venkat, you've been kind of silent but observing.
Yeah. Jay, in my perception, any typical human mentality is rather than learning by looking at someone else, right? You will learn many things.
Yeah.
So when you be in a global platform, you get to know many people, the way how people are thinking, how their strategy. Obviously, you can pick your strategy and the way how you proceed. So that's my perception.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah. Somnath sir, you had some points.
Yeah, I was on a different thought. When we say we go into those platforms, I was thinking how do I recap my learning? So I see those platforms as a recap or a revision for my learnings. So whatever I have gone through the sessions, whatever I have understood through the coding sessions, how do I recap those? So how do I strengthen those, re-strengthen those? That the Kaggle provides that platform for me.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So may I share my thoughts? So I think everybody has a very good different perspective of the same elephant. So that's really good. One of the things I won't be prescriptive here. I don't believe in advising. I believe a lot more like being descriptive of my experience so that you can draw maybe your own experience. So when I was learning, my learning was obviously linear, like with coming every week, listening to concepts, falling down. Obviously, Python errors are not the sexiest. The word itself is very intimidating, right? Python. Oh, is it a snake? So, and then we used to have Anaconda, which is like, thank God you don't have that. I hope everybody is doing it on Collab, right? Jupyter Notebook. No surprises. Google took over that word. But earlier, back in the day is just 5-6 years ago, Anaconda was our platform, which had lots of bugs and errors. It used to give Microsoft competition, Windows, let's say. So all of that was good, concepts were great, etc. Then you're thinking, what is p-value, what is t-test? Oh my God. And math is like forever intimidating. But suddenly we had a Kaggle competition. And that too, so Kaggle allows in-class competition, Kaggle allows global competitions as well. So there are different types of competitions. I would encourage you all to check Kaggle only. Don't do anything else, only Kaggle. Then in that in-class competition, I got I worked really good, and then I got ranked 17th. And so again, I'm not being kind of dorky here, but somebody who was somebody whom I knew was definitely I knew was half as smart as me, got some 7th rank, and I was like, wait, what is going on? Okay. So just for that competition, some 2-3 nights, and there's a deadline. So Kaggle competitions always have a deadline. They can be 1-month competitions. So actually, let's go ahead and see that right now. So how are these competitions kind of spaced out? So let's go to Kaggle, and then I'll continue my story. Okay. Maybe I'm logged in here. I don't want to re-log in, otherwise it keeps sending me spam. Yeah, I logged in, so that we can see this now. So Kaggle has, like I said, multiple formats. Yeah, there you go. Now the format I did, my first competition was an in-class competition. So we'll have that shortly, right? We have that in the third module. We'll come to that. So there are competitions that you can earn 100,000, 100,000. There are professional Kagglers also. You don't have to worry about that. Your job, your aim is not that, unless that becomes your aim. 1 or 2 of my students only have become professional Kagglers. It's very tough to earn that. So your job is not that. I'll tell you what your aim is. So I was in an in-class competition, and then I got 17, and then 3 nights. It was a Sunday deadline. So every competition has a deadline. So it will say here 2 months to go, 1 month to go. These are all public competitions, right? And when I got 7, sorry, the other guy had got 7, and then finally, I worked 2 to 3 nights, all night, stayed up. I ended up with 8. Okay, didn't beat him. Obviously, I'm fairly competitive guy. I was disappointed, but the real thing is that, you learn so much. What I learned in those 3 nights, I think completely superseded what I learned maybe in 3-4 months also. I mean, honestly, I was lethargic to do a lot of chapters, etc., all that. So competing. So I would encourage you to watch this movie called Seabiscuit. It's about this great stallion. Stallion is like a male horse. Seabiscuit. How many of you watch Seabiscuit? You should type that if you watch Seabiscuit. The only time and the horse is very talented, extremely great, but it only runs and beats if it sees a horse next to it. It otherwise it won't run. It won't eat. It won't run. It will be like very, very ziddy, right? So you guys are like that. You guys are talented. You're insanely skilled, but you got to have that. My request to you is, in 6 months from the time you've joined, 6 months, 180 days, I want you to take any one Kaggle competition, apart from the coursework, any one competition, and get below 1,000 rank. What am I saying? Any one competition, only machine learning, don't do deep learning and all. If you're in deep learning batch, you can do it. Get below 1,000. I'm not asking you to get below 500, not 200, because it'll automatically happen. Get below 1,000. If you're, can I have your commitment, guys? Below 1,000, type 1,000 and 180 days. 1,000, 180. If you're ready for that, if you're committed, take about 1,000, 180. Type that, guys. 180 from the time you started. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if you're starting 1-2 months later, also it's fine. I know that you have 1,000, 180. See the horses next to you. That's it, right? And any competition, you can take easy competition. You can do tough competitions. There are all those things also. Just don't get overwhelmed by, oh, you know what? I failed in Olympics. No. I'm giving you straight away normal things only. Yeah, 1,000, 180. Because once you hit like a rank, like let's say 997, you will know that shit, I only have to do 2 more tweaks to get below 500. Then you'll be like, oh, I have to do only 1 more tweak to get 400. You're in the game, like saying, of managing energy. You have to gamify yourself, right? Once that happens, then we can have a team competition. Then we'll see, in teams we work much better, right? Like I said, then you'll have the confidence, right? The confidence will be like, you know what, I got 997 in a Google interview, or let's say a Facebook interview, be like, boss, I got 997 global rank. You will have that. You will have that moral authority to ask for more money or for more roles or for more leadership. And you will know, more importantly, when some junior is bluffing you, right? That's also important. It's not about the knowledge you have, it's also about knowledge you don't have, right? So that is easily doable. Trust me, with the coursework, it's easily doable, right? And I have so many people doing that. Don't only one competition, pick up some easy competition, not some high funded data set, right? And get below 1,000 rank in 180 days. It's doable. 180 is plenty of time, 6 months. Let's assume 2-3 weeks also you waste. It's fine. So it's a long time, right? And thanks for giving me your commitment there. Okay. Let's go back here. Right, so that's the Kaggle challenge. We have that as part of the academics itself. Deep learning, this is not the batch for that, so I'm not going to be talking about that right now. And then once you do that, that's the Hall of Fame goal, right? So now, since it's a sort of a homogeneous mixture, we have students Keep your goal card, do paid internships, don't do this free thing. Free is not good because you need somebody to ask you to whip you, right? That's where the money transaction happens, right? Freshers aim for 5 to 8 lakh, depends on your, like, you should aim big. Don't settle for something less, aim big. Working professionals, again, if it's less than 10 lakhs, you should be aiming at least 50 or 100%. 10 to 25 lakhs, easily achievable 30%, 50%. These are conservative numbers, right? Greater than 50, 60 lakh, it starts becoming a little difficult to get like those binary jumps unless you're actually somewhere else, right? So if you have any of those, my selfish interest is getting an interview with you, which is the Hall of Fame, right? Traits, I'm just going to talk about them. Self-reliant, fixed on goal, responsibility, fast implementer, persistence. Be in discomfort every day. Discomfort means not because you have not done something, because something new you're trying, right? Essentialist, like I said, I think by now you've understood, just be very simple in your needs, etc. Push for family members also to be like that. Creative, humble, giver, spiritual. All these are very important. The goal is, like I said, for I fundamentally think there should be like a complete overhaul in our mindsets, right? Okay, so we are going to be doing this November 15th during Diwali time. We're going to take a poll. Twice a day, Earl Nightingale, we get points out of 100. If you do that, you get 10 points. You have to write your goal book every day with pen. Don't type it. Don't voice note it. That doesn't count. Pen and paper. Pen and paper. Don't put my son's 3/4 used book hai, so 1/4 I want to do. Don't do those things. Buy a good book, fresh book, go and write that, right? Goal card with 10 points straight away. Send me your goal card, 10 points, guys. I need you to WhatsApp or email me your goal cards, right? You don't need to show it publicly, but just send it. Unsubscribe, 10 points. Unroll.me is a software. There are many softwares. Unsubscribe from everything. Don't have 5 email IDs, 1 email ID. Professional one, personal one. That's it. Professional, you can't have many unless you're doing many jobs. But 1 email ID, that's it. I've given in Inner Circle, how do you write even your email IDs? Don't write this Jayanth rocks, Jayanth is cool, Jayanth from Facebook, Jayanth learn. No, just keep your full name, first name, last name, and do that. Measure screen time, we're going to be doing that as well. Log into an Excel. 2 hours is enough. 1 or 2 hours is enough. No need to beyond that. See, programming is like, it's like dominoes. It's like video game. You will level up suddenly, but you have to be at it. Family time, sleep, food, exercise, like I said. Okay, cool. So let's, this concludes the, at least the values and etc. So 1 second. I'm going to be now just seeing if there are any YouTube comments. I don't know if Evan, have you joined from YouTube? She's joined us last time as well. So I don't see her name. Okay, maybe she's not. Okay, cool. So this week's agenda, like I said, is about the Python programming or the CV mastery, right? So for those of you who are new, don't worry, go through the flow because you've sort of parachuted in between to one of our revolving online lectures. So what? So we're going to go to this. So first off, let's do that one question for the week. Yeah, so we'll give 5 minutes and we'll go through the agenda. So I'm going to be sending you this. What is your one question for the week? And oh yeah, okay. So I think that's your husband's, right? Okay, perfect. So feel free to join. Write your one question for the week, right? And we're going to be discussing after this one CV live audit and one code chunk, one code base or code chunk. So Dave, if you have something, feel free to bring it up. Or others, if they have any code issues, also let me. We'll debug that. And so let's take a 5-minute quick break and come back. Yes, just 5 minutes. It's 2:01, 2:06 will start. Fill that, meanwhile, fill that. Don't just 5 minutes to write something articulate and nice, right? Okay, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Let me get some water meanwhile. Time's up. Okay, cool. So let's look at the questions for this week. 1 second. Yeah, no problem, Venkat. Yeah. So that's fine. So basically the idea is just to, like I said, the inner circle calls, we take like one question that's troubling you this week. It could be a Python doubt, it could be a statistic doubt, it could be a mindset doubt, like etc. Mostly I get like mindset doubts, etc. That's fine. Apart from that, we'll have the resume audit, and I had Python also if there's a question on that. So don't worry. If you've joined new, no worries. Be a fly on the wall. By all means, continue to look at our pretty faces. Whatever it is, but listen, because see, I've seen most people learn when the other person is on the hot seat. Hot seat is when they're literally on the hot seat. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So the first question is how to reduce resume size in 2 pages if research profile is known. So Yashpal, Dr. Yashpal, so we're going to be doing the audit hopefully with your resume or somebody else. I had Bhaskar's resume, I think, also. So he also has a PhD, right? So yeah, so we have 2 PhD guys. I'm presuming you have PhD, sir. So hopefully that will take care of that question. If it is not, we'll revisit this question. So today's agenda is that. How to identify competition is Kaggle is easier. It's very easy, Swapnil. So what you do is, let's say you go to Kaggle. What I would do is don't do any latest competition unless, first two. So okay, so you have to understand the way Kaggle works. Okay, so let me share that. So Kaggle has 3 things. One is a grandmaster, right? So there is a competition grandmaster. Or who's a grandmaster? They have some criteria, like you should be below 10th rank for at least 5 competitions, something like that. I don't know the exact criteria, but it's in that kind of theme. That's a competition grandmaster. There is a dataset grandmaster. There is a notebook grandmaster. I think there's one more they came up with. Okay, so now who's a grandmaster? The reason why I'm telling you is you have to know the entire landscape before you get it. Okay, so grandmaster is somebody, I think there's a criteria for each of them. You should have below 10th rank or 5 ranks or something like that, and should have it for many competitions, right? I think 5 competitions. I think data set is also like that. You must have, I think, 5 or 10 data sets that are really good, and they have some criteria. The reason why Kaggle is doing this is it's trying to foster a community, and obviously it's as more people come in, the community's value increases. Notebook is somebody who keeps talking about the notebook, who's writing good annotations about it. So each person will find their own sort of strength slowly, right? I like competitions. I like notebooks. I don't like data sets too much. That's me, because I don't have too many data sets. Most of my data sets that I have is also my health startup, which we don't like obviously publish. If you have open data sets like crypto data set, etc., you can be that. Now, for you to select a small, easy competition, the way I would do it is, if I'm just beginning out, for the first 6 months, don't do anything. I would just focus on, we're already here. So when you go to competitions, there's a way to filter. Can you see the filters here? When you go to filters, you can see the, don't do any in class, they're typically a little easier. I would do posted or completed. And I would do I would not do any of the paid competitions, right? Why is the completed thing still going on? So wait 1 second. The competition I have given you in the lectures is already there. That's the first one, but that's an in class. I would start with something very basic here. Don't do any computer vision. Look for these keywords, okay? These are the keywords I'll give you. Look for competitions that are ended. Over 3 years ago. 3 years ago is fine. and look only for machine learning. There's a way to filter machine learning also. Meaning don't do the deep learning ones and all. So you'll get a decent data set. Look for mid-sized data sets. What is a data set? You will get to know as you see. If you have done even the first chapter, you'll know what is a data set. Data set is something that has rows and columns. Mid-sized is fine because if you have mid to large, you can start improving your ranks. If you have small size, it becomes very difficult to compete, to improve your data sets, right? So that's how I would hustle. Look for classification problems. Why? Most 90% of the problems are already classification. Regression problems are a little tough. Now, what is the difference between classification and regression? If you guys have, I know some of you joined just recently, don't worry about that. Once you get classification problems are problems where you're saying it's like India will win the match today. India wins or lose. That's classification. If you say how many runs India will score, let's say India is going to score 181 runs, 181. That is a regression problem, like a forecasting problem. So these are the only two types of problems in machine learning. You will get to know this by chapter 2, right? Look for only classification problems because it's easier to improve ranks in classification, right? So these are 3 ways you can actually figure out which sorry, the spelling of ended as well. These are 3 ways where you can figure out how, which competition to take, etc. So on and so forth, right? Don't do any current competition going on because there are active teams. There are Russians, there are Ukrainians who are 3 times smarter than us and who are, I'm going on record, who are far more frugal than us. They will outbeat you. You get depressed. Don't do that. It's about gamifying yourself. 1 year later, or maybe 8 months later, or if you're a full-time data scientist, you can achieve that in maybe 1 year as well. I'm making actually a Kaggle team as well. I like competing. If you're there, reach out to me. You can be part of that team as well. Look for simple problems where you can start with like Titanic data set, etc. That's there, right? So I hope this answers your question. If yes, you can say yes on the chat or unmute and talk. Hemant, part of the Kaggle team. What does that mean? You can unmute and talk, Baba.
If you're planning to make a team for Kaggle,
I already have a team.
Oh,
yeah, I have a team of Kaggle competitors. There are only 2-3 right now, interns kind of team. They finished the course. They finished all the deep learning course when I was teaching previously, and I compete. See, for me, Kaggle is a way to like keep me up to date about the latest technologies, etc. Right? Does that make sense, Hemant?
Yes, I'll make a team when I am done the same process.
I can't hear you. What?
I also have an approach to make the team, Kaggle team.
Okay.
Like then once I complete all the course thing.
Yeah. Once you don't rush it. See, if you should be ruthless about your goal card, guys.
It's not yet on the goal card. It's still far.
Yeah. See. I can indulge a little because 1 or 2 of my things are like steady. So if your goal card is a fan company, high paying job, get that, etc., and only then do the other things. Don't be. I'm not dissuading you. I'm telling you. I'm warning you because our mind will be all over the place. And getting a high paying job in a great company takes time and effort. See, for me, what will happen is these guys are already. They're like Dobermans. Like they're really good in coding, etc. They're already there. They only do that. I'm the guy who strategizes. Once a week we check in. Sometimes it's only once in 2 weeks. And it's a leaderboard. So they keep applying. That's it. And see, for them, the money is taken care of because I'm paying them the salary. That's it. I can do that because my thesis, like I said, is threefold, right? To learn something, to ultimately learn, you should have the combination of a tripod. Teach, research means competition, etc. And finally, consulting, like a product or a consulting or a product. That's the exact way you can learn. Ultimately learn because many people get 1 or 2 right, but not all 3. Many professors in universities, unfortunately, they only teach. They don't do other things too well. Even if they do research, but never do product. Some people who are in startups only do product. They never teach. Some people who are in research never know about product. the trifactor is the ultimate combination, right? So I'm just setting your expectation. It's alluring and all, but don't do it if it divergent from your real focus. Be ruthless on your focus, guys. Hemant, does that help?
Yes.
Yeah, it's tempting. See, you're in the business of saying no. 4:5, 1 ratio, 4:1. 4 times in a day you have to say no. Once you have to say yes. Yeah, cool. All right. So let's look at Emmanuel, Jim. Time management slightly an issue, big issue for all of us. That's where, like I started, fix your goal card, take some time out, maybe 2-3 days or a week, write your goal card, plaster it everywhere. See, I'll tell you, in success mindset, I tell you about the different stages, right? Now, many of us are depressed. Depression is not something high funda. My mom used to be like, you're going for counseling and all. Doesn't matter. It's real. If people are going for physical counseling, you should go for mental counseling also. Nothing to be ashamed of. So you start with like, okay, anxiety, depression, all that, and then you go all the way to possessed. Like a guy like me is possessed or obsessed, right? But it takes in phases. So don't worry about all that. Start slow, have your goal card, put it everywhere. And it's about getting that rhythm within you, the best rhythm. And you have to get it right only once. Saying no, subconsciously you have to alter the mind, right? That's more important. Again, even the best of best people whom I meet, have dinner with them, they tell me the same thing, right? But because the person saying it is different, it looks like that, you hear it more. So don't worry about it. It's tough for all of us also. It's very tough to get rid of all 4, like get 10 smart apps, smartphone apps out of your phone. It's very tough, but that's reality. That's why you're going to get high paying bucks, right? Okay, hopefully that helped. Does that make sense, Jim?
Yes, it did. Anyways, I'm not a social butterfly. I don't have much apps. So
no, not social butterfly. Apps, like even
apps.
Netflix, Instagram.
Well, I don't have Insta. I just have LinkedIn, WhatsApp. That too. Now I'm using it because just for keeping this update.
Yeah. But even LinkedIn, I think, is becoming very bad. I've seen LinkedIn feed, and it's only pushing me all those eyeballs and all.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's just giving or rather, it's just giving a false implication or rather false picture of people.
Yeah.
And most of the people, especially, no offense to anyone, but many of my connections I've seen that, I mean, they are totally frustrated in their life, but they are just being pretentious over there. And I mean,
no. Yeah. So I was speaking to Quora ads. Quora. So you guys know Quora, right? So all the social networks, the AI underneath that. So now you'll be developing AI systems. You'll know it. All the AI, it's auto. The news feed, what they call, all these are auto generated or auto pushed, right? All of them, it's a thing called collaborative filtering and all, behavioral targeting. They push content which users click on more, like they want to say learn more, read more, etc. And everybody knows this. Again, open secret, people love bad publicity. People love masala things, like quote unquote, that spreads faster, right? So all these networks are incentivized to keep you engaged, keep your mind share, right? LinkedIn has also become very bad. Yeah, real people are getting depressed all the time. So you got to be very cognizant of how the algorithm pushes. Even in Quora, if you take, and one of the reasons I was speaking to them, the insight I got from Quora ads lady is like, Quora is actually struggling to monetize, but a good platform like Quora, or at least I think these are all my views, is also pushing negative stuff like bad reviews, bad this thing. Actually, the person might be good or the course might be good or whatever, but the bad things are going up higher and higher because audience is engaging a lot more, right? But reality is not that. 90% of the world is still, I believe, good, right? So get rid of these guys. Be ruthless about that on this game. You have the potential, the talent, but it's like Seabiscuit. You got to put the blinders on, get that one competition, and just keep going. Okay, cool. Let's managing setback, conflicting priorities, staying in shape. So first off, I really appreciate you that you made a big gesture coming out and telling that I'm also out of shape. So it's difficult. I think just take one baby step at a time. think you should not do it, etc. One of the things I'll tell you what I'm trying. It's not advice. Again, it's descriptive, prescriptive. I realize, see, for me, what is the one thing that's most important is meditation and workout. Last 1 month I was busy, so it didn't till August I was doing it really well. Then I was just thinking, how do you make the one thing the one thing? The only way is again going back to the drawing board. So now I'm hiring like 1 or 2 small trainers who can come home or who can call me on Zoom to do that meditation. At 12 o'clock he calls me. I was trying to do it alone, but it doesn't work. I mean, it worked for some time, then it was like a sinusoidal curve. So I've paid that guy a lot of money. Just because I'm paying him, he calls me, and if he misses a day, I call him. So it's almost like an indirect approach to whip me back. Because if somebody is meditating 30 days, or let's say 30 days, he's going for workout or whatever, 25 days, they're in great this. So I have like a first checkpoint, morning and evening. So I've had 2 trainers. They're also cheap. They're like what? So I think costing 3,000 a month. That's fine. So 7,000 rupees. So definitely now from November, I won't be missing. Even if I miss twice a day workout, I'll get it at least right once. That's my goal, because I know I can't whip myself. I have to have it through somebody else. So you have to try out different methods, and we can discuss that next time if you have some other better hustle. Because why meditation? Because I realized that's the highest leverage. My highest leverage in every sector. Like I realized what is the best thing for my students? Okay, coming, talking, value system, drilling that. What is the best leverage for me? Okay, meditation. It's not other things. What is the other single best thing in workout? Like really doing workout every day is also difficult, right? So again, I think you have to creatively look to inspire ourselves, right? All of us are struggling. So please share notes. Please share your wins on the WhatsApp group as well. My request. The world is, like I said, a blizzard out there. So I congratulate you for at least acknowledging the 90% battle is done on this, sir. Hopefully that helped. Okay, how to do goal setting? Yeah, so goal setting is a tricky thing. You have to, so I was talking about this in the last session. So you have to write a list of interests, I think few sessions ago. Right? So let's say I want a 5 lakh job, right? I'm just making a 3 lakhs per month job. So I know that at the end, some sectors I'm definitely not interested are pharma. Guys. I'm definitely not interested in what's that called? Yeah, Hemant's good recommendation. Yeah, for meditation, art of living. So if you guys are really serious, I'm very serious about meditation. I'll tell you something life altering. That's my, like I said, descriptive, not prescribing it here. You should do Dhamma. I recommend to everybody. I think Nitin from our community was trying to go. Dhamma is 10 days of silent meditation. You speak to nobody. You eat vegetarian food. It's a Buddhist thing, but anybody can go from any religion. It's for you. No couples, no married, nothing. You'll all single rooms. It's life altering. 10 days of silence. 10 days of no speaking to anybody. No, only 2 meals a day. They give you food at 7 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. and 11, 12. It's intense. But I think once in life you have to do it. I'm trying to do my second, third time as well. I want to do all the way to 60 days. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. I'm on record here. Yeah, do the Vipassana. It'll change your life. Remember, you're in the energy management space. You're not in the upskilling game, right? I'll tell you, like most people think it is upskilling and all. It's not. It's life altering. Anybody? So maybe Dig, do you want to talk about your experiences very briefly? Vipassana means I'll give my heart out for that. So I'm going to do the seva as well. See, because one of the 10 precepts of Buddhism is 10th one is at least you have to keep your ego very, very low. Keeping ego low means not watching some TV and telling. You have to do that. So I think day 11, 12, they give you the option of cleaning bathrooms and all. You have to do that. It really grounds you. The person next to me was like a bus driver and all that. Anyway, Dig, what, so you want to talk about that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go for it.
It actually, I tried this a couple of years before, and it was really wonderful.
All 10 days. You've done 10 days.
No, sir, it was for 3 days. It was a short course.
Vipassana.
Not exactly Vipassana, but it was conducted by Vipassana itself.
Okay. That's very odd because you have to finish the 10 days to do the 3 days, 2 days. How many of you have heard of Vipassana? Just type, or just show me a hand or thumbs up, or you can type on the chat. VIP Vipassana. Karan has. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah, it was really wonderful. Like, as you said, we are not supposed to speak with anyone. We have to pick up very early in the morning. And the last day when we came back, we were asked to unwind ourselves so that we do not just enter the world directly. Like, because 3 days we are not speaking to anyone.
Yeah.
And one real good thing was we were asked to be ourselves. Like, it's okay if you want to cry. If you want to laugh. But don't worry about what others are thinking. It was a very beautiful experience.
Okay. Can I spend 30 seconds, some time talking about Vipassana? If you guys type BIO, bring it on. Others? Yeah. So I don't know. I've been very weird about it. I talk about it with my dates also. So which is something I would never ever think about. It's mind blowing. So if you have even an iota of inclination towards that, and I'm contradicting myself on camera, just stop this data science AI thing, just go to Vipassana. You're not going to, is Jay crazy to talk about this? Actually, maybe half so. I think all of us have got life wrong. Again, not to be preachy, it's out of the world. So first off, it's a technique. So here's the context. It's a technique started 2,500 years ago. Let's see what Hemant is sharing. Yeah. So actually, better than this is the I like the Israeli lady one. What she shares. So you should watch Hemant doing Vipassana doing time. So they show you exactly. 1 second. They show you exactly how Kiran Bedi introduces in Tihar jail, and she gets the jailers, like the guys who have killed people, etc., how they tie Rakhi to the husband of the person he killed. It's a real life thing. Anyway, coming to my experience, it'll change your life. It's 10 days. Day 1, day 2, I talk a lot, as you have guessed. Day 3, I was like almost crying and all is normal. That's very, very normal. It's a very transcendental experience. 3 days you don't talk and you're waking up at 4:30 a.m. to meditate. It's a brain surgery. It's a brain surgery. You'll go very, very deep into yourself. If you're doing it correctly, you will think that, oh, how can I sit? Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I have too much weight. Oh my God, I've not even done 2 squats in my life. Forget about all that. Just go. Because your body is not you. Like, as in, we have actually evolved from like amphibians and all that, God knows what not. You can adapt to anything. You'll automatically be sitting for 12, 14 hours. It'll become very easy by day 5, day 6. Day 5, day 6, day 4, when you're not giving food, like in the evenings, they don't, right? You lose weight, you are everything. And then you're eating a bed sheet. That I went to that level. But more importantly, you go to some other kind of experience. And day 6, when you surrender, it's different, right? And day 11, I had lots of other benefits. My focus increases. You get eidetic memory. All the experiences come back. Like it's different, and it's not religious. Like, they're not preaching, oh, you have to be Buddhist, etc. So 2,500 years ago, Buddha starts this. That's how he gets nirvana. It's been going on for 2,500 years. Can you guess the cost? It's 10 days boarding, lodging, everything. Guys, can you guess the cost? Put it on the chat. 5K, Swapnil. 5K going once. Hemant, free. It's free. Others. How much would 10 days in like some, I don't know, some Bangalore weight loss center giving you? Okay, so it's free. It's free. And that's where I had it sold. Because everybody else, see, I'm not dissing anybody else. There are so many 400, 500 other kinds of religious things, but they charge you money. I don't believe in that. So it's about donation. Like I said, the 10th precept in Buddhism is begging. So you live on somebody else's donation. Even if you give 5 crores, 10 crores, they don't write your name also. It's called Dhamma. It's not by any person. Go for it for yourself. Number one thing will be resistance. Oh, I have job and all that, but just go. Anyway, coming back to this, some people might kick me like, why are you talking about this? But very important, because your benefits are through the roof. Your concentration, your self-control, your your relationships, everything improve. Like your purpose, you become more purposeful as well. Anyway, coming back to this, we are near where are we again? Last question, right? Okay, let's go back. Yeah, so your goal card is about the not to do list first. And like I said, today we have to be a little bit altruistic. So once you get the not to do list, I'm just writing stuff here. I don't like e-commerce that much. So this is me, your list could be different. Then you say, okay, e-commerce is that. And then the third one is, let's say, what else do I like? I don't like sports. So I like healthcare a lot. Healthcare, edtech, obviously. I like finance, like credit cards, finance, and all that. So let's say these are the sectors I don't like. So now, not in it. So definitely, this is something you should never touch. So I don't like alcohol, like let's say alcohol companies or tobacco companies. So this is me, okay? You should have it. So then you should say, okay, from that you craft a list of things. Wait. You craft a list of companies you would like to work for based on this, right? Then you simply go and say, what is your goal? So your short-term goal should look like my 1 year goal. So don't even write 1 year. You should write literally a date. So let's say 23rd. Again, these are very generous numbers. So let's say 6 months from now. So today is what? October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. So by 23rd April 2021, I want to master Python, statistics, linear algebra, and job mastery. We have a job mastery module, which is part of the inner circle, but I'm going to shift to that. That's pretty much it. That's enough. So keep something very simple, right? So this is your short-term goal. Okay. You should have 2 goal cards, but you can also squeeze it in one. And by long-term goal would be, oh, sorry, yeah. My long-term goal would be, so this is short-term. Yeah, and my long-term goal would be by, let's say, just making a 1 year goal. 23rd October 2022. I want a job at. I want a fulfilling job at any of these companies. So ostentatiously it's fine, but let's say if you go deeper, so you can say so I'll talk about my goal. So let's say if I was at any one of these series B/C companies, so that could be like Cred, it could be Unacademy, companies that you admire and respect. See, I respect that. You don't have to agree with me on these. What are the other companies? Dream11. I actually like that company. It's also my Columbia senior. So something like that. So keep that. Then you write the fulfilling a lucrative job. Or you could say, it's actually a breast cancer mammography AI company. Then you can write a purpose as well. So if you have this, you write it properly like this. Right? Earning, and write it specific. So earning, let's say 4.31 lakhs per month. So because you're not going to get a 4 lakh per month salary, it's very odd. Bank balances are actually in some weird numbers. God knows why. Why can't they just round it to like the larger numbers? Okay. Or you say, you can be specific, you can say at any of, I'm just continuing from the above, at any of either, if it's healthcare, you can say Nirmay or Pure.ai, right? earning the 4.31 lakhs. And then remember, you have to have that altruism. Serving, okay, serving healthcare community. So you're also serving and getting that. So that's where the fulfillment and the lucrativeness comes in. Are you guys clear about how to write your goal card? So write it like that. Don't mix multiple things. Don't mix your weight goal with this goal. If you have that goal, have it for another goal card. That's the way goal card works. This is not my method. This is not Jayanth's method. This is actually how Napoleon Hill has a method. Napoleon Hill, not Bonaparte. Napoleon Hill is credited to have the most number of millionaires and all that, right? So he talks scientifically about this. And his book is this Law of Success. How many of you guys have heard about this book? It's like some 1,000-page book. It's Law of Success. It's not principles. It's not how to be successful. It's Law of Success. This guy dedicated his life for rich people and how they get it. Okay, so it's actually a proper science. Guys, you clear about the goal card? So type GC if you're clear about the goal card. And it must be printed. It must be this thing. If it's in your brain, it will never happen. You can take it on record. I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, it will never happen. If it's in your brain, or if it's in your spouse's brain or your kid's brain, or when you're 3 drinks down, it will never happen. You must write it, keep it, print out every day, touch it, feel it. In fact, for the first 90 days, my goal card was behind my phone so that I could touch it. I realized, in Mobi, Naveen Tiwari told not me, in a workshop, very interesting thing. He said, apparently you pick up your phone, an average person picks up the phone 140 times a day. So I was like, oh, actually better than my bathroom is actually my phone. But the problem was when I kept it behind my phone, the paper started tearing. Yeah, Mohan Raj. Yeah. Perfect. I didn't know about I knew about Napoleon Hill. I saw the book and I knew that it was like 40 million bestsellers, but I never practiced it until much later. Okay, cool. Coming back to this. So I'm going to get rid of this. I hope this question was clear. Yeah, how to measure the time consumption by various activities. Yeah, so there's a sheet. I can share the sheet. I'll share the sheet. So one of the things is you can check screen tracker, right? So for Android, are you on Android? Or, so irrespective if you're an Android or whatever, you can check your screen tracker app. There's a way you can measure the phone screen. If you can conquer phone, you can conquer your laptop. Laptop is easier relatively. So you can check your screen tracking time. I have it on my iOS. I don't have a specific app for that. So it'll tell you which apps you're spending how much time, and there's nothing like. If you can log your time, you'll know how much to lose. So there's a screen tracker app. I don't know the specific name. For me, it comes default. Okay, let's see this. How to write the orientation? Are we going to discuss it? Any example from current or previous batch? So I think the solution, I've given a walkthrough about the orientation assignment. See, the orientation assignment is frankly a little bit about your personality test, what your aims, aspirations are. I've given like a walkthrough about it. Yeah, you have to submit it. The most important question there is the goal card, right? And once I get the goal card, I'll get a sense of where you are. I believe just send me an email and I can share my maybe orientation assignment solution. I'm not going to be sharing anybody else's. It'll actually be kind of unethical. So I will share mine. Yeah, Swapnil. So you can send me an email about that. Okay, cool. So let's do the live CV audit, guys. So sorry, it took a little bit of time. Bhaskar, you want to do it? I know you shared your resume twice or once. Dr. Bhaskar. Maybe he's not at the desk. Anybody else? Anybody else wants the CV sort of just reviewed? Or we could do a Python. Otherwise, we could close it for the day. Wow, no actually Python doubts in a data science course. That's like crazy. Maybe I should be have a course only on life coach. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll walk through about how you can do work on your CV. Okay. So may I do that? So just 2 minutes, let me spend some time. It's very important. Like I said, many people get that wrong. So once you access your LMS, so I've given you this. So this is for a little bit of the new folks. So in the inner circle mastery, inner circle vault, let me share my screen. Just go to either 9th October or 17th October, right? Now, when you go there, I've given you how do you go about the changes you have to make on your CV. I've given you tofu, mofu, bofu, which is top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. This is purely from a job perspective, right? Don't worry too much if you're not yet there. It'll take you 3 to 6 months. Yeah, CV, I've given you exactly how do you reorient and write your CV, right? Now I've started from hygiene. Now, what is hygiene? I've given you exactly what font to use. Guys, what font to use, what font size to use, what single spacing and all that. For PhD people, you can have it for 2 pages. If you have more than 10 to 15 years experience, keep it more than max 2 pages. Nobody in this community should have more than 2 pages here. Please, my request. Nobody reads beyond 2 pages. I don't know. I also hire for a lot of people. Like as I consult, many people just call me and say, Jay, can you do final round of interview with this guy? Resumes even for 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds are really bad. Please don't do that. Nobody reads more than 2 pages, right? Gone are those days. So this is primarily from private sector. If you are less than 10 years, it is criminal if you have 2-page resume. Just keep it 1 page. Keep it 1 page, please. No date of birth, marital status photo for private companies. Private companies by law are not supposed to discriminate. In India, many people don't know it, but it's coming there. Definitely not in US, Canada, etc. You're giving the employer an opportunity to discriminate if you give all of these things. Regardless, people are already doing this. What does that mean? Suppose I'm just making it up. If Emmanuel is coming and I never knew him, then I'm going to just Google him, see his Instagram, see his LinkedIn, and look at his maybe whatever Google profile, and I'll add 2 and 2. And then I'll be like, oh, I can say, oh, I don't like Emmanuel. Let me not even call him for the interview. These things are happening. So don't give them fuel. I also tell you how to write your name and all that. Please go through this once you're 3 months before your job, like ready, right? I tell you how to write your phone number. I tell you if you want to do it in LaTeX. Work experience. This is the area where most people struggle. The format should be a work experience first. Even if you went to the most premium college, don't write that. This is for people who have more than 10 years experience, 5, 10. If you're in the first 2, 3 years of your work, you can write your education also. That's fine, right? Even if you've done like some Harvard, etc., don't keep that. First is your work. People care about what you've done last 2 years. Now, I've given exactly the format as well. So after that is education, PhD, postdoc, followed in decreasing order. Biggest mistake people write is they also write their entering year. Your entry year in college doesn't matter. It is the exit year. If you have a drop year or a gap year, it's okay. Just write approximately the time you should have graduated. So let's say I graduated from IIT in 2010. Let's say I entered in 2005. I graduated in 2010 because it was a dual degree program. I didn't flunk any subject. But let's say I had a gap year. I didn't finish my final subjects. I did not. And 2012 was the one I had graduated. Write that. It's okay. Don't lie on your resume ever. Not a single full stop should be a lie, please. My sincere request. Many people are like, let me write Python 1, R, SAS, SQL, BQL. Let me write all the Sarigama Padan. I said, don't write that, please. Write 1 or 2 things. I've given that again and again. MS, MTech, MCA also have given that. Only 2 tools you write. If you're applying for data science job, now this might become a little complex, but let's stick to basics. If you're applying to 2 kinds of jobs, let's say if you're applying to computer vision jobs and NLP, okay, forget it. Let's say applying to finance jobs and e-commerce jobs, just write the tools that are relevant to finance. I'm just making it up. Maybe Power BI and Tableau and maybe 1 Python. That's enough, right? If a hiring manager is recruiting you because, like, let's say the role was for PyTorch. PyTorch is a tool. You will come across it much later. And you know only Python. He's saying, no, I don't shortlist you. Don't even go for that company. Hiring managers are looking for dominance in one area. They are not looking for jack of all trades. You have to have mastery. Look for mastery. If you get mastery, you can dominate, right? I've given all of these things. Now, how to write verbs, like your verbs also are given, right? Writing 10 pages is 5 minutes job. Writing 2 pages is a 1 week job, okay? To be succinct, to be brief is very difficult actually. I give you also how to write your experience. So in this, I tell you for every 5 years of your experience, just write about 200 characters. That's what is my recommendation. And I also tell you the exact format, right? If you're applying for leadership roles, right? My request is beef up the leadership piece. Okay. So you have to have a format where you say, okay, because of my whatever, I'm talking about experience that has elapsed, not the new experience. Because of my leadership abilities in Oracle, this particular project used SAP and brought in bottom line savings of maybe, I don't know, 2 million or something. If you don't know what is the impact you're doing in your organization right now, it's actually kind of a little bad, guys. Go back to your manager, your boss, at least guesstimate. You can write roughly 1 or 2 million. If you're in a senior role, you should know at least these macroscopic things. One reduced or left side, right side. See what is the impact you're creating, right? You are creating an impact. How do you know that? Every employer wants to squeeze out the maximum. There's at least a 5x. Let's say your salary is 30 lakhs, minimum to minimum, you are bringing in 1.5 lakhs, either on the top line or the bottom line. What is top line? Revenue. Bottom line is your profit, right? So you have to reorient the verbs like that. If you are applying for a technical role, like I said, have 2 versions of your resumes, one leadership, one technical, or one e-commerce, one finance. Don't overdo it. Don't geek yourself out. Don't have 5 versions and all. 2 good versions is more than enough to conquer and dominate the market, provided your skills are good. Then keep that other version, technical one. You'll say the same project as used SAP, maybe 2.0, and was working on some technical thing like, I don't know, just making it up, like ETL tools or something, implemented new techniques and impacted, let's say, 2 million customers. So there you keep the focus technical. Same experience can be seen different ways, right? These are very, very important things. You have to spend time. Nobody will spend time because people don't know. Even if you get a professional writer, I've seen that I've spent 4,000, 5,000 rupees per resume, per agent, CV writer. It takes a lot of time. They won't know your verbs. They can make your things better, but you have to spend some time writing the verbs, right? Because your experience, every resume is like a DNA. It's very unique. So after that, I tell you, student also, you can do the same, focus on your projects, etc. I know a lot of people focus on certifications. Trust me, it's not good. Already I've told you, there are resume blind interviews going on. Keep those versions, keep the versions, but don't believe in it. This is one of the times when I'm telling you on record, certificate doesn't matter. I have hired from the best programs, people who spend like 5-10 lakhs and they can't code a shit. And I've hired people who just do normal stuff from like tier 2, tier 3 towns. They're doing really well. Okay. Certificate doesn't matter. However, you write that down because the hiring manager might see that. Oh, okay. And then you might at least get in the gatekeeper. What are resume blind interviews? Many good startups and all, you can just walk in without your resume. They just give you a laptop, code, clear the interview. That kind of thing is also going on. Okay. Be careful about, be cognizant of that, right? So I tell you about that. So refactor your resume properly, make 2-3 versions. It will take a lot of time. This is not some 5-6 minute thing. Spend the adequate time. This is the first impression you're going to make, guys. Okay, next. So CV for deep learning also, I tell you, machine learning and data science. So then this is all what is elapsed. Then what are the skills you're going to acquire? If by April or May, you know you're going to acquire at least the chapter-wise skills, I've given you a little bit of keywords also here. How do you write it, etc. It's okay. You write what you're learning, right? If you're on the data science track, I've given you that. If you're on the machine learning, I've given you that as well. Again, specific format. What is the data set you've used? What are the inferences? Always matters what is the inference. If you have done all the greatest things in life, let's say I'm giving a simple example. You made an AI that detects how clean your maid is actually cleaning in your house. Nobody cares. You use convolution networks, you've used recurrent networks, you've made a pipeline. Nobody cares. However, if you say, I've made a AI that is helping my detect if my maid has done a theft, that now is very impactful. How many of you agree? Let me stop and just ask her. How many of you agree with that? That was a lot more useful. So anybody can unmute and talk about that. What is the difference between first and second? You're using the same convolution networks or whatever. You're using the same AI techniques, computer vision techniques. Why is the second a lot more better than the first?
Jay, I believe the second, from a scalability point of view, it applies to most of the consumers who will be looking at that.
Perfect, perfect, excellent. Anybody else? That was great, Mohan. Thank you. Technology is the same. Everybody agrees with me, right? If tech is same for both detection of maid cleaning well or not, or versus detection of theft. Technology is same. Why is the second one much better than the first?
Can I come in?
Yeah, anybody can.
Yeah, just for regarding my health insurance, if I speak while processing the claims, if I build a AI model which will detect what kind of financial error it is going on, because losing $1 is much more impacting the business. So if I can produce a AI model which will help me to detect prior to processing that claim, so that would be much more helpful.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, okay. Anybody else?
Sir, actually, it is easy to detect if the maid has cleaned everything correctly, properly or not. But it's difficult to detect if the maid has taken anything without permission or not. So the second one, actually, the AI helps us to do that job on behalf of us more easily, which we cannot do efficiently. So the second one is more efficient.
Okay, okay. One sec, my battery is dying. I have to fix this. Yeah, yeah. So that's fair, but that's fair. But the question was a lot more about why is the second problem a lot more important than the first? Assuming the tech complexity is the same, right? See, okay. One of the things is you guys are. So I'll tell you that. So I'm not taking it away from you, so, but I'm just going to clarify one piece. You are going to go knee deep. You're toe deep right now in AI. You're going to go knee deep and it'll get increasingly complex. You will fall in love with technology, right? But to rise in your ladder, in your work X or in your work organization or elsewhere, somebody asked me last time also, how do you convince upper management? You have to start seeing only one thing, ROI, return of investment. You must have a lens of seeing how much has it impacted business. How much will it impact business? Let me tell that again. It seems very simple, but many people don't get it right. People get it wrong, the simple things only. Why does ROI matter? It matters that the lady has done a theft because it's a security thing. It doesn't matter that much if she's cleaned it or not, right? I'm not talking about the tech complexity of the product. I'm talking about the ROI. Same thing tomorrow. Do a technical feasibility first. What, even if I make an AI, is it going to help the organization or no? See, if you're a junior level developer, AI scientist, you won't get these. I'm talking about the more senior people who will be on the cusp of making impact in the organization, right? So always do that. I have wasted, I would not say waste, but I spent a lot of time doing that mistake as well, right? We've made healthcare detection systems and all, but the nurses and so doctors and all are simply resistant to doing anything there because they don't see much value, right? So it's very important to see the ROI. Same thing about your resumes, right? In that you have to first reorient your technologies that you use and what are the impact you have created. Very important. Data set, inferences, and impact. Impact must be quantified either with money or with number of consumers. Like you made a AI detection app that was resume plagiarism, or resume goodness factor app that has maybe 1 million hits. That's a great thing. So these are 3 things you must try. Many people make the mistake of writing the same thing again and again. Don't do that. You have to stand out in the crowd. Okay, then let's go back to here. Yeah, then I talk about what tools you have to write. Don't write any more than 2 or 3 tools. It's just a waste of time. I talk about my own resume. My own resume is just one. I have theoretically 12 years or 11 years, but I don't. Just write one. We're going to file 1 patent and maybe paper also. That even if I do that, I'm going to get rid of many of these things. It's just not happening. People are going to LinkedIn searching. See, people's attention span is decreasing exponentially, guys. Thanks to the Instagrams, YouTube shorts and all. Why should your CV be any different? Right? So don't have that dissonance. Please consolidate your resume and come back. We can probably do an audit next time, depending on the schedule, right? Any other questions, guys? Before we now that you have slept, it's time for me to sleep. Right? Okay, cool. If one sec if you have no more questions, then we'll meet next week, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, sir.